Hey,
Yeah.
this is Friendship Simulator. How are you guys doing?
Friendship.
I'm not talking with the mic. This is just my voice from far away now.
What is this turned into, one of those ATS videos or whatever?
Aqua Teen. Stupid.
What are those videos where people whisper and it's not a fetish but totally is a fetish?
It's free real estate. Okay, I'm done. I don't know.
You know what I'm talking about, right?
Yeah, of course. Everybody knows those.
Okay.
I knew what you were saying before, even when you said it.
I know there's like
I don't know.
letters, and I think one of them's an
Oh, that's right. Hey, look what I got. I got this, and I also got. Oh, hold on. You've seen this before. Heaven Sword. You know what Heaven Sword does?
Is that its normal attack?
Yeah, it's just a normal attack. And its long range attack makes it go even further. And if you have two of them, you can fire two of them out. This is Castlevania Symphony Night. This is Friendship Simulator. Hi everyone, how are you doing? I'm talking to Dan and not forgetting that I'm recording.
I have that effect.
Oh, you want to see? Have you seen the Moonrod special attack, by the way?
Yeah.
You remember it?
Crescent moons come out, spin around, or spin forward.
I didn't know. I mean, I guess it wasn't that hard to. That's a really good weapon. And you remember this weapon, which I think you've already seen. Oh, we got a ton of these. They were dropping off that guy too.
Well, that's what you were farming when I left.
No.
Last time.
Yeah. I missed it like 4 more times.
Is that why you now have 8 of them?
Oh, no, I wasn't farming this. I was farming the Heaven Sword. Did you not know?
Well,
But no, this is cool because first of all, it's got a pretty good, even though it's a slow attack. And then it's got this, which is really good. But I'm not going to use it because it's two-handed. Also, it's not as good as Grim. And I spent all that time getting the Heaven Sword, and then I realized it's an offhand weapon instead of a shield. And then I forgot shield dashing is something that I'm doing sometimes. So I'm like, oh, I can't even use it. So, I don't remember where I was going. No, I remember where I'm... Okay. Yeah. I'm gonna go right first. Let's take care of the down stuff first. Oh no, I already did. So things that have happened, lately. I finally... it was on sale, and I finally got Dead Rising 4.
oh yeah?
I mean, I went in with like 0 expectations, so keep that in mind. Nonetheless, yeah, because I'd heard everyone were just like, it's 3, but even worse. And I'm all like, I did not like 3. I did not.
It seemed like everything you liked about Dead Rising, it was missing.
And 3, yeah.
And then in place of what you liked, they just put in a bunch of collectibles.
They, it was, 3 was, I still really like 3 as a game. It's still really fun as a game. I actually bought an Xbox One just to play 3, which was stupid, and then I sold Xbox One in a month because it's a bad system. Sorry guys, I don't like their interfaces. They're just ugly ads. I don't like Microsoft making games. I've hated Microsoft. I've hated them as a game company since 360. What ugly game interface and system. What ugly policies that company has. As bad as Sony and Nintendo are, Microsoft just really takes the cake. But anyways, nonetheless, and I'm not gonna go and defend like Sony now. Sony's being garbage babies again, but you know, Xbox One, not my thing. Anyways, I only played through Dead Rising 3 once, and anyways, I'm not even paying attention. Am I actually like? Okay, I need to. Did I get up here? No, I didn't. Okay, I probably Are you actually telling me to turn to a bat?
Bats can swim.
Do you actually think bats can swim? I'm in this situation where
Bats can swim. I mean, maybe not in this game.
listen to this water dog.
Didn't that make it a seal?
Aww, seals are cute. Shoutouts to Poplio,
They're the
my
puppies from the
favorite.
sea.
Well, it's a seal or the otter one.
What? Wait, what's wrong?
I can't believe I said that.
It's either seals or the otter one?
Stop it. Don't repeat it.
What, otter one is...
I don't know why. That one really got me. That was like, I felt like real hot shame there. I don't feel good. I feel like I'm gonna throw up. Oh. Anyways, I don't know. It just embarrassed me for saying that. Oh, that's the place I'm supposed to go to, right? Yeah, that's the... We're not going there yet. Oh, do I need to, like, travel through and then go backtrack? I don't know. Whatever, I'll just pick a direction. Oh, I got a Zweihander. A Zweihander, sorry. Anyways, back to, oh yeah, this thing's annoying to get. I don't think you can fall in there. You can a little bit. What's weird about this is it's actually kind of hard to complete the map in this area without, well, I've been, leaf stoning. But that's the only way for you to actually fill in map in the upper thing sometimes. It's just very hard to get at, so that's that accidentally. Back to Dead Rising. Yeah, so I was at Dead Rising 3, it took out half the game from 2. And I guess 1, but get back out. Like it took out the whole. People didn't like the time limit, but the time limit was the only thing that made you. And I've been saying this since Dead Rising 3 came out. Time limit was the only thing that made it survival horror, that made it suspenseful. That was the game. And people were like, we hate. Oh God, at that point, I think it was because of Resident Evil 4 being not that great of a game in some ways. And I'm not talking about the changes that were made, because I hated the changes. But it was Resident Evil 4 was a great game in general, right? Like it just wasn't a good Resident Evil game because it wasn't Resident Evil.
About you saying Resident Evil 4, because in my book it's a joke.
Wait, so you don't?
Evil 1, there's Resident Evil
I like
2,
how you don't like Code
Nemesis.
Veronica. You don't like Code Veronica, and you don't
Veronica
like
is
Zero.
when they lost their goddamn minds.
And even if you called it a trilogy, I know you like the remake. So why do you like the remake?
It's a remake.
It's a completely different game. It's a different game. It's a retelling. It's not really a remake. People call it remake because they don't know how to do it now, but it's not an HD remake. It's a
all the same, yeah. Resident Evil 4, as they call that game, was a great game, but it was a
wonderful game.
It was not a Resident Evil.
Right, it wasn't. And even now, even 7, though much closer, it's not really Resident Evil, but I'm okay with it. You know, had 7 came out, I still would have had, like, way back then, I still would have had similar issues, but nowhere near as much, because it's actually, at least it's kind of a survival game, it's a horror game, more than a horror-themed action game. horror-themed shooter. But don't get me wrong, there are cool horror elements in fact. We're talking about Resident Evil. I didn't mean to. We're supposed to be talking about Dead Rising.
Yeah.
Anyways, they kind of did a similar thing when, I forget what my point was to compare 4 and Dead Rising 3 with 4, but,
it's a restructuring of the series.
it's a completely different game, but unlike 4, where they completely put in a very solid new type of game, 3, Dead Rising 3 didn't do that. It added the open worldness. It made the timer unimportant. It took out... Oh, yeah, no, I remember now what I was saying. Resident Evil 4 had a horrible escort stuff. Nobody liked it because it was actually bad. But while, especially in Dead Rising 1, the escorts may have been viewed as being flawed, it was the entire fucking game. That was the game. Figuring out when to use things for, like, trying to get as much experience and much level. You were supposed to replay that game multiple times, too. Like, you're supposed to be leveling up as you play through it, and you are supposed to be failing initially. Quote-unquote failing, because it's not failing, it was kind of like a roguelike. You are leveling up your character over... And it'd be like somebody going through, Rogue Legacy and being like, I died. You mean you have to die? That's stupid. And it's like, no, it's the game.
You don't have to.
Good fucking luck not dying
I'm
ever
sure
in Rogue
there's
Legacy.
some asshole who's done it.
What an asshole. Like, some asshole.
What?
No, I don't know. Just like some real jerks so good at the game.
Some
Fuck them.
motherfucker who has spent their entire life mastering Rogue Legacy.
The only people that you can call assholes that are just really good at games like that are Dark Souls players, because they pretend that they pretend they haven't trained. They're like, oh, I do this first try.
You're an asshole.
I love Dark Souls, but I'm an asshole. No, no, I was gonna say, if you pretend that you beat Ornstein and Smog first time, you're a fucking liar. Kill yourself. Not kill yourself, but like, God, I get so angry about Dark Souls. Anyways, but going back to Dead Rising. So they just took out a lot of stuff. They tried to make it Grand Theft Auto, and they also took out. They tried to make it gritty, and it's fucking Dead Rising, because they wanted to be Walking Dead, and it's not. It was bad. It was just. It just took out everything that made Dead Rising a great game.
3 you're talking about, or is
This is
this
3. So anyways, I played 4. I heard it was same thing. It's going to be the same kind of situation as 3. And, oh, another thing I want to complain about 3, real quick. 3, the environments in 3, they were just roads and small buildings. They didn't have any of the cool aesthetic. The whole point about Dead Rising that makes it so good is you were running in this, like, happy mall with cute mall music and these bright lights and all the crazy aesthetics that a mall has. And there were zombies everywhere and people were dying, but you still had this, like, goofy, silly, happy music. You're, like, in a casino and stuff. Like, it was just supposed to be, like, a comment on, oh, I need to kill these things, right? How much easier is that? It was a good mix. It had a great aesthetic mix. It was perfect. And you were like, you know, the fact that they tried to make that, they took away that whole, the, like, silliness and the happiness aesthetic. It was just bad. It was just, it was stupid. It's just them trying to be edgy, and I don't know. Like trying to make a serious Evil Dead. Like, you know, like...
Oh, Jesus, have you seen it?
I have not. I didn't watch it because I saw them do it. Was it bad? Was it bad? I heard it was bad.
It was good, but it was not Evil Dead.
Yeah, I think that's something I heard. But regardless, this one was bad. It was just bad. I don't know what else to tell you. It was for a Dead Rising, it was bad. And the plot was really bad. It didn't have a good... Dead Rising doesn't have a good enough plot. It's like it's like trying to take a B movie super seriously, and they tried it, and it was stupid.
So
anyways,
what's your take on 4?
So yeah, I heard it was gonna be terrible. to the point where I didn't want to pay full price, even though I'm a huge Dead Rising fan. I didn't buy it when it finally came out, even though I've been waiting years for it to come out. Years or year? I don't remember. Since it came out on, I think it's only been a year since it came out on Xbox 360 or Xbox One, whatever. Anyways, finally got 4. Played it. It's pretty good. I like it. It's really good.
How far?
I beat it. Let me finish. Let me finish. Let me finish. Let me finish. Okay, here's the thing. It starts off amazing. You're in a fucking mall, and the mall is the way a mall should be set up. It started being goofy again. It's silly. They took out the timer completely this time, even though it was gone. It was more or less gone in 3. It just and when it was there, it wasn't important. It had no impact. It wasn't. It was there for aesthetics, and so had no real meaning. Even though this is further from Dead Rising 2, which I don't know if I mentioned is like in my top 10 favorite games ever made ever. It committed to being more different. Does that make sense? Whereas it wasn't trying to be this weird half game that just had chunks of the game missing. By the way, Dead Rising 3 was rushed and unfinished. I don't know if people know that. It's like been more or less documented at this point. And it was just this was actually a finished game. Like this was actually like they spent more time on it. Did a couple weird things. It's supposed to be a nostalgia trip from the beginning. They changed Frank West's voice actor. I don't fucking know. I don't know why.
Oh, yeah,
I talked. I think I told. Did I talk to you about this really quick? But we had to get off the phone. I swear I did. Last time we talked on the phone, and we were talking about it a little bit. Anyways, the voice actor's good. He is good, and Frank's supposed to be older and like more like kind of a different person. And so the voice actually works well for him. I think the original voice actor, TJ something, he could have pulled it off. I don't know what Capcom was thinking. I generally don't know what Capcom was thinking because they're not that great of a game company anymore. Anyways, that's possible too. I wouldn't be surprised if he saw the script for this and was just all like, no thanks. It's like, you know, I don't know what it was, but he's not in it. It's fine though. The guy they have is actually pretty good. It didn't end up being that big of a deal.
Are you at max health?
No, it's just no max. 500 is not the max health, but I could see you just being. It's a pretty round number. Wish I could go up here. Hey everyone, you guys know what's up here? That's an unfinished area. There's normally a way you're supposed to get down here, but they re-included it in the Saturn version. They didn't re-include it in any of the bonus areas or that in the PSP version in the Dracula X Chronicles. I just wanted to stare at the cross in shame because it's not a good item.
So, how did you enjoy the,
Wait, don't spoil it if you're gonna say spoil it.
Oh, come on.
No, don't. Okay, I'll say one thing. We can say it without spoilers. Okay, so here's the thing. Just, let me explain this at the pace that I'm planning on explaining it. We'll get to what you're about to talk about, and I know what you're gonna talk about, and you're right to talk about it. So, okay. The story's a little bit silly, even for Dead Rising standards. It does some weird stuff. But it's, you know, it's that Dead Rising story. It's not supposed to be taken that seriously. If you play Dead Rising for the story, I don't know what you're doing. I like the story that there is. I like the storytelling. I like the characters. But anyway, so Dead Rising was going really well, and 4 was going great. And then you just leave them all immediately, like 1/4 into the game, 1/5 into the game. and you never go back. And then it's just Dead Rising 3 again. It's better than Dead Rising 3, but it's that same kind of stuff. Just empty streets full of zombies. Buildings that aren't that unique. One thing that they kind of took out of the game, which people complained about, and I don't blame them for complaining a little bit, was they got rid of psychopaths. Or the psychopaths they have are...
I didn't even realize they had done that to it.
Because they still have them, they just don't have cutscenes and they're less important. And they switched it out by giving them, what is that?
I think it's a bottom slot thing.
Oh, yeah. It's a weird, it's Defense with 15. It's really good. But we don't need defense right now. Yeah, you need to use this to fill into the very bottom things of the map. Look. Wait, where is it? I don't know why I'm doing this, because we don't need map coverage. Oh, no. You can't. You have to go like this, and then you need to... What do you do? Oh, no, you have to go like this, and then you have to dog. And then you fill in the map, and that's the only way to do it. It's so dumb! And it's weird, too. Like, why does the map look like that?
Yeah,
anyways.
Yeah.
But we'll just do that while we're here, since we're talking anyways. What time are we at? Oh, you're typing. Okay. Sorry about that. Thank you. I get it. Nope, I have to go up to Sushi.
Some quality programming.
I think I might be able to get up there just to do this, right? Yeah, I can, okay. Damn it, those things respawn when you go off screen. I think they're the only thing that does that, other than zombies. Neutron bomb. Wait, was I supposed to get something else over here that I didn't get? I'm just looking at that whole thing that I was doing. Anyways, so no, they just it's weird. They just got rid of the cutscenes, which... Okay, I'm gonna say this right now. I would have hated Dead Rising 4 a lot more had Dead Rising 3 come out first. Or had it been Dead Rising 3, you know? And I would have gotten all the changes. Because a lot of what I don't like about Dead Rising 3 is coming off Dead Rising 2 and it turning into that. And it's just like... But nonetheless, so much better than Dead Rising 3. And so a lot of times I'm kind of just like... If they do something that's worse than 2 but better than 3, I'm all like, oh, cool, it's moving, the game's moving in a better direction. And, but no, but by no means is this anywhere near as good as 2. Dead Rising 4 is a joke compared to 2, but it's still a fun game. Anyways, but yeah, no, they got rid of, well, another thing I was gonna say is, I think this is the Alucard shield. Yep, this is why I came down here. Have you seen this? Do you know what happens with the Alucard shield and the shield rod? Whatever, we'll do it anyways.
Yeah, you go into God mode.
Yeah, you're cheating. Alright, so this is the Alucard shield. If there's an enemy.
They're all hiding.
Yeah. It shows up, it shows all the shields, and then you keep the shield out, and it deals insane damage. And heals you for every bit of damage that you're getting. Oh, you need to actually...
It's only 8 health per damage.
Yeah, only 8 health per, like, tick of damage. Even though you can hold it on bosses and it just, like, damage faster than you can count. Like, it comes up so fast. And it only drops down in mana while you have the, shield out. So you can be recharging your mana. Healing off candles. Oh, did I go through there? I get everything over there. Yes, I did. Anyways, we're gonna get rid of this because it's not as fun as the, we're only gonna be using the Alucard shield for, like... I don't know. Should we just try and, like, go through really fast and not pay attention, or is that just... Does it really matter at this point?
Not really.
Christogrim or Alucard
You
Shield?
just beat the game at this point.
Well, I am beating the game. Gotta get all the bosses and the
Beat
parts
the
of
game
Dracula.
before it beats you.
I'm gonna switch back to the Chris Grimm's actually better. Anyways, like for combat, it's better. You can get through things faster, unless you're talking about bosses. For navigation, the attack range. The attack range. Do you not understand that this is like not that great for attack range? Anyways, whatever. I don't care. I think the Alucard Shield is better than the Skull Shield, right? Yeah, it's better.
I think you value attack range a bit much for this game.
What are you talking about, Shield Rod Boy? Where's the Chrysogram? Is it on the screen?
They deleted it.
Okay, so I can get through this before we run out of time. Dead Rising 3, a lot of its psychopaths were just either racist or just straight up gross. Like, I don't know if you ever saw the Fat Shame one, where it was just a woman in a, one of those, like, handicap buddy things. You know those things that you drive around. They're like little scooters.
Oh, okay.
Oh, it's a boss fight. Oh, shit.
So, you've made it this far. In the name of your father, cease this foolishness.
Not while there's a breath in my body.
Then for the master, I'll feast on your soul this night.
These guys are a bunch of fucking edgelords.
Does he breathe?
Oh, keep that. What are you talking about?
It was underwater. Breathing thing?
No, yeah, I think vampires breathe.
No, they're undead.
Is that the Nicolas Cage movie?
That doesn't mean you don't have lungs. What?
Vampires Breathe. Is that the Nicolas Cage movie?
It's Vampires Breathe. Are you bringing that up? I still haven't seen that movie. I need to see it. Let's bring out the old demon card. Anyways, that was Death. He's really hard. I'm sorry, guys, that I'm more or less cheating. It's giving me a year to try and find it. A lot of people don't actually think that he can find it here, but he can. It takes him forever.
This switch hasn't been pressed yet.
Now you're put away forever for the rest of the game. Say goodbye to Demon. I like him. Anyways, but no. Do you remember? So she was riding around one of those things. She was in a buffet, like this big buffet, just driving around. So big that she could not get around on her own, eating and vomiting everywhere.
Just living the dream.
Her
bro.
attack was to vomit at you. And then, like, sometimes she would vomit and then slide all over. It was fucking gross and, like, the highest level of, like, fat shame, eating disorder shame. Like, I don't even know how to explain it. It just sucked. And, there was another guy who he was this Japanese, think he was Japanese? I don't know. They were just doing Asian stereotypes. And he was being a kung fu master. And just his... You know that guy off Mad TV? The one, I forgot his name. I used to really like him. How he always...
Something.
Yeah, I don't remember. Something like that. And he would just straight up, he was all like, I don't care, so he would always do Asian stereotypes. It was like him doing one of those. but it was like worse because it was just worse, and it was just like they just had stuff like that where the only things that were memorable were like slightly offensive things. And don't get me wrong, Dead Rising it wasn't always like the most like yeah, they do stupid shit like a little bit, but it was never that strong, and it was just. And that mixed with the fact that the rest of it was supposed to be, like, taken seriously, too, was just, like, I don't know, it just... I like Dead Rising 3, but in terms of the series, it was fucking awful. And, so anyways, yeah, so in a lot of ways, I had a game full of, like, bad psychopaths, so I didn't mind that they had... The psychopaths in this game weren't bad, they were actually kind of, like, interesting, it just, they didn't have cutscenes, and they were way more generic. Ooh, it's the Alucard sword. Maybe I should switch to it. It's so good, though. Look how fast it attacks. And it does this. It's so good. It's so good, though. And now the Alucard sword. We can down slash. I think we all knew I was gonna switch back to the Castlevania.
So psychopaths, disappointment, but
no. I think they weren't disappointment. It was just I was like, yeah, it was whatever. And they have a leveling system that's more. I think this was in 3. It's more like I don't know. Like Far Cry or something like that, and which I don't like anywhere near as much. It did a lot of the same bad things that that 3 did, but it just did them better. It took them more seriously. The weapon system, for example, like just the interface and how you deal with weapons, so much better. Because they, once again, were using the old Dead Rising system, which only worked in the game if the game was functioning like old Dead Rising was supposed to function, Power of Sire. It's a little picture of Dracula, in case you can't tell. He's got a red eye. He looks a little bit like Rugal from King of Fighters, but, you know. Power of Rugal. Anyways, yeah, no, fine, I guess I was fast track. They just did everything better than 3. They fully formed things, but once you left them all, the areas were more interesting that they had, but I was kind of hoping that you'd go, oh, I guess this is sort of a spoiler. There isn't more malls. I got this impression, I think, from Brian that there might be more than one mall. There aren't. There's one mall, and you never go back to it. And then you're out on the streets, and it's just kind of like, okay, fine, this is not as good. I wish they would have had at least half the game in the mall. It would have made it so much better. Oh, and before we talk about the thing that you want to talk about, sorry, there were a couple other things. I didn't know this. They removed online story mode co-op. It's just gone. Oh, that was always in all of them, and it's great. It's one of the best co-op games ever. You can go through. I love games where you can go through the whole story. It's so cool. The cat hurt you? The cat. Oh, I think it's the small cats there. Don't hurt you. I don't know if I'm going the right way. No, I'm going the wrong way. I want to go back I'm trying not to kill cats. I'll try it. I don't think it actually does anything.
You can bark when they meow.
And there are other things too, like, and we'll go into this more in a second, but, had I not gotten the version with all the free DLC, even though it would have still been better than 3, I would have been, I think, disappointed, because, there's just a lot of things. It felt, it was not 2. I'll keep saying it. It wasn't even 1. But, well, let's get into that. I'll tell you right now, Had I gotten that fucking ending. Oh, I don't want to tell you. Maybe this isn't one there. Okay, without spoiling it. We need to avoid spoiling it. The ending is terrible. And it's not the real ending. The real ending is locked behind $15/$20 DLC. They had an overtime mode, quote unquote. No, because that was a quote unquote free. Oh no, that wasn't free. They did. No, and it's different. But shouts out to this music that I don't like that much, but it's still really good. It's great. It's just not as fun to listen to as a lot of other songs. But it's perfect for this area because if I did not have the chrysogram, this area would be horrifying. And again, I would have had the Alucard shield and the shield rod, so I guess it wouldn't have been that bad. I just can't remember what way I'm supposed to. I don't want to go to the. I don't know what directions I'm supposed to go that has the dead end, so I don't want to continue on through the. Oh shit! And there's a potion up there that I missed. Let's see if I can get more potions. Can I grind potions from these bats? Did I get another potion? Man, I didn't realize you can grind potions from these bats. Wow. Yeah, there's another potion. How many potions do I have?
Not enough.
We're gonna have to finish the Dead Rising story after.
Yeah, we're at 37 minutes now.
Oh Jesus, I knew. Okay, but thanks for watching. Have a good potion.